Hello. Good morning. We're in my workspace. We're in a workspace. I have claimed this space as my workspace for today. Beautiful. This is a fun one for me. Cause like goodness, hold on. Yeah, I'm vibing. Alright. If I had like a little nugget passion project purpose, right, that was beyond what all of this is, by the way. Welcome to part whatever of this 12-part thing before I start making some more, people-friendly content. I don't know. Anyway, if I had a little like, hey, I want this for everyone sort of piece, right, to add to the universe, as it were, it would be this. Okay, today we're talking about some more words, because, hopefully by now I love those, right? Man, I am so excited for this one, y'all. It's like, it's a declaration, not necessarily of war, but like, challenge your archetype. If you watched one of the last ones, which, like, if you don't know that reference, please watch that video first, because what we're going to cover today is coming from a place of strength, yeah? And before, I really want you guys to drink in that strength, as it were, right? I want you to understand what it really means to be vulnerable and to reflect, okay? So, like, the order on this one, I might have set up so that, like, that video maybe plays, I don't know, at the beginning, or, like, I'll put a tag or something. Probably not for a while, like, we'll get there. It doesn't matter. All right, guys, so, two words today. Power and authority. All right, power and authority. If you are someone that I have interacted with in the past, okay, you have vastly misunderstood what it is that I do when I do things with, like, the, let's say, will. I'm not allowed to use that one right now. It's like the will of the universe, but no, it's like the command of God, and that, careful, right? What I mean there is, I have often been in situations and just kind of like, yo, this needs to happen, and it does, right? And people will see that and think this phrase, I want that power too. It's not power. It's not power. We're going to dig into it for a while, right? Today's going to be some examples, hopefully like more bite-sized examples than less. We'll see. Like I said, I don't get to control the time of things anymore, and I'm kind of getting used to it at this point. And it's a little fun. We started going on like random adventures. Look, I don't know where you are and like interacting with my content, but I know where I am on like my journey of not creating it, right? Like that's a lifelong thing. But in like embracing what it means to be guided by God. Okay? Okay. Watch this. Money. Let's start there, because I did say this was like a declaration of war, right? So, money. Alright. Money's actually cool. Like, it shouldn't be the focus of everything, but it is cool. Money's not the root of all evil. It's ridiculous. Let's define what money is real quick. Money is a representation, right, of value, okay, reflected through our cultural understanding, yeah, of what different things are. That's a lot of stuff to put together. Stick with me. We're gonna make it make sense. Okay. Let's use the 40-hour-a-week example, okay? If I work 40 hours and I'm paid, who cares? $5 an hour, because that's horrible, and I hope no one's making that. But if you are, like, fight for your rights. All right. I can go somewhere, right, and trade that time that I spent, those 40 hours, right, for material things, usually, yeah, that reflect that amass or that amount of value that I have accrued, okay? So, like, I got $20. That was 4 hours of my life, right? If I want, let's say, a fast food meal that day, I'm not going to quote anybody in specific, but like if I want like something from fast food that day, and it now costs $3,000, no, I'm just kidding, but you guys are getting freaking ridiculous, and you know you are. Like, calm down, fakeflation, anyway. I can, yeah, say that like this meal is worth 4 hours of my life, okay? So the inherent value of my time, yeah, is a meal a day, kind of. Yeah. People aren't wrong for wanting to increase their value. Okay? That's fine. So again, I say it's not money that is the root of all evil, right? It's usually like greed, okay, or corruption, okay, oppression. Thank you for making me cough that one out. Throat clearages. Cool. Anyway, it's it being in this instance, right? Because we had to take a little break there. The evil part, right, is in the envy that's inherent to society right now. What I mean by that, not jealousy. We'll talk or touch on that word like a little later, but envy. Okay. So first, envy. Insofar as we understand, envy is like unto jealousy, in that it involves looking at someone else's, let's say, wealth or possession or standing, whatever, and then desiring that, right? But with the added of, you do not think that that person who has those things should have them. You should have them, okay? Little soundbite example. If we're watching like a famous, I don't know, who's really getting flack? Hopefully not Bezos still. I know that sounds like, right, but like everybody's hating on that guy, and man, for what? Like he took his spaceship into the sky, okay, fine. But like all of you funded that. What would you do if you had like just stupid money? You would do things that make you happy, right? Space is really cool. Why wouldn't you want to go there? Okay? Like, grow up. Find a real reason to hate someone, and then you say, well, like, what about what his company's doing, and blah, blah, blah. But that man is so disconnected from his creation at this point in his life, right? He is a walking bank. Not an ATM machine, because that's rude, but bank, right? It's a walking bank. Money is just deposited in him, and he safeguards it, and then occasionally gets to do cool stuff with it, right? envy comes in for a lot of people on this one, because they're like, well, you should be using that money to do this, this, and this. And like, if I had your money, I would do blah, 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 blah. So like, I'm mad at you for having the thing that I could do things differently with. That's envy. Okay? That's a sin. For good reason. One, because what did you do? You the person, not you. I'm sorry guys, like I'm working on like the targeting of my language here, but you, the individual who's feeling this envy, yeah? What have you done? Not would do, what have you done to create value in the world? Right? He started, insofar as I know, with an idea, and then grew that idea into a profitable venture. That's cool. That's cool. That means he made something and it worked out. So if you're envious, then what you're envious of is that someone that's not you did something while you didn't, and you think you should have all of his capability. No. And that's not who we're at war with. Do you understand? When I say war, I mean against the idea, right, that the problem is money and not jealousy, envy, corruption, oppression. Okay? Alright, let's talk some more power stuff. Thanks. No, that's for me. So, this is so fun, guys. Okay. Right now, we being like the working citizens, right? We're kind of indoctrinated into this mantra of scarcity. Yes? What are we gonna do with it? Pigeon. But it has a bracelet on. I told y'all they don't want this one to get out, so like I'm a little aware of my surroundings right now. Alright. We're indoctrinated into this like false scarcity narrative. Right? I want you to think of something that you believe is scarce. Let's do something boring like gold. Okay? Gold. Gold is maybe on like the crusty layer of earth, which remember, I'm gonna get this wrong, and I'm fine with that, but I feel like in perspective of, maybe this ball thing, yeah, the crust is like a fraction of a millimeter. There's this whole thing, right, maybe an inch and a half, and then the crust it's the space in between my fingers, not this, it's here, okay? And so on that, there is maybe so much gold. We don't know how much gold is actually on our planet because we can't mine into the, upper and lower mantle, right? So we say it's a rare thing. Fine. We live not just on a planet, guys. We live in a fucking galaxy. We don't have scarcity issues. We have distribution issues. Unpause. If more people like Bezos develop, and this is cool, I didn't plan for it to work out like this, it just kind of did, and I'm happy about that. If more people like Bezos and Musk, sure, why not? are out there developing the means to move between the planets, our concept of scarcity drops exponentially. Excuse me, because that looked like it flattened out at the bottom. Exponentially. Do you understand? Okay? We are in a galaxy. There's probably a planet made entirely out of gold. Probably. Think of something. Beyond food, think of something. There's a planet made out of that. There's only so many atoms. Okay? There's only so many elements on the periodic table of elements. Do you understand? And it's out there. It's not just out there. It's out there in abundance. We live in abundance. And they paint you this narrative of scarcity so that you guys work shitty jobs. Okay? And buy things that you don't need. Right? And pretend to innovate things. This is my only corporate attack for today. Maybe. Can't say only. We're using exclusive or inclusive grandiose language there, right? So hopefully this is my only corporate attack for today. iPhone, stop. You're on version 700 and they all do the same thing. They all do the same thing. You are wasting materials to do nothing different. Innovate. Innovate doesn't mean increase the size of your camera by 1%. Innovate means we have this new device and it allows you to project a full-form holographic image of yourself to another person. Innovate. When you have billions, innovate. Alright? I don't know who the person is. The billionaire that you guys want to pretend hate right now, but like, if they're innovating, then not so bad. Okay? NASA doesn't need to be the only thing flying around in the stars. Welcome to it, guys. Alright? We need to grow. That doesn't mean we don't need cell phones. It means we don't need 700 versions a year of the same cell phone to keep buying. Like, I keep mine until it dies, hopefully like 10 or 20 years later, and then I'll get another one out of necessity. Right? That doesn't mean that you need to maintain stagnancy, okay? But anyway, so I think I've hopefully, for now at least, hit that point, okay? It's not money. It's a mentality around money, right? It's the desire for nothing like it's something, because it's something that we don't have, right? This isn't just material stuff, not this, but also peace. Someone else's car, you see it and you're like, well, that guy looks cool, I want to look cool, I'm going to take his thing. Someone else's clothing style, you're like, well, she looks super hot in that dress, I want a piece of what she has. She shouldn't have that attention, I should. I'm going to go and like either take her dress or, you know, throw something on it or buy the same thing, right? If we have, guys, listen to this. If we have, how many are we? 7, almost 8 billion? If we have 7 billion copies of the same thing, then only 2 people out of that 7 billion are happy because we're made in pairs. Do you understand? And biblically speaking, God made us in pairs. If you all copy the same 2 people, only the 2 people that you copied are happy, and the rest of you are living an unfortunately pathetic life. Don't. Because you guys are chasing this word power. Okay? You want the power of someone else. The power that comes with what we think these material objects are, right? When you buy the top cell phone, Now you can go to the office and you have power. Except you show up at the office and no one really cares beyond like, oh dude, that's a cool phone, and then they keep going with their life because we have work to do. And suddenly you are still the same person, as powerless as you were before. Okay? So that's all to that word. No, it's not. When you seek to attain power through money, you only have power to people, who believe in your theory of money. What do I mean by that? Most of us are on like bank account lives right now, meaning we don't carry around cash. We carry around an electronic representation of our ability to showcase cash, right? Hard material wealth is in like assets, okay, and knowledge. Knowledge being a primary asset that you need to have, all right? Because one day, anybody can just decide, hey, that $1 million, banking error, it's been deleted. And sure, you can fight for it for a while, you know, maybe you have like pictures of bank statements, whatever, but like, do you though? If no one cares, do you have anything? Think about that. While you hold on to this concept of power, right? If suddenly no one cares, do you have anything? No. All right, cool. Power is momentary and heavily reliant on other people's validation. Okay? It's pretend. People who chase power through things like a disgusting amount of wealth that they sit on, like smog. It is smog, not smog. The dragon, alright? That they sit on, like hoarders, right? These people have nothing because they do nothing. We don't sit on mountains anymore, guys. We interact with each other. And if you can't interact with each other, what freaking good are you? Alright? I am attacking you. If you think that you can do anything because you have something external. Do you understand? You are my enemy. I don't care what you can do. Hire people to try to shoot me. I've already been shot at. I don't care. Hi CIA, hi FBI. I've seen you guys for a while. I don't care. Alright? Every time you have to do something from a distance, you prove your weakness and my strength. If you hire somebody to run up on me, you didn't do anything. The person who ran up on me did. You are still powerless. Unless you, with your form, challenge me with my form, you have not increased your power. All right, I have really hit the nail on the head with that one, I think. Guys, the word is not power. It's authority. Okay? It's authority. And authority is internal because it comes first from God. Authority is reflective of your knowledge, not of people's understanding or validation of your knowledge. Alright? This nugget I want to be the gift to all of you so that you stop trying to do everyone else and realize that you already have something that no one else, especially me, can do. And if you lean into that, I just, man, the amount of respect and awe that I would have for you. Do you understand? It's like that, well, we all have gifts thing, or we're all a special snowflake, whatever, but like, no, actually. Okay? I'm going to give a couple stories on this one, guys, and I'm going to get out of here. Sorry for the length. I don't think this will take too long, but again, I don't control the time on things. I was a, Muay Thai fighter for a while. And then once a fighter, always a fighter. So I've been, like, in the thick of it for almost a decade. And I'm going to say it like that for reasons later, but almost a decade, okay? When I started, it wasn't a journey of power. What I wanted was an ability to protect. You understand? I started with a very important why, right? And so because I knew my why, like, it guided my journey. I trained guys like I was trying to be world champion every day, every day. It broke me every day, but it built within me confidence that I just, man, I love what I got from it, what I continue to get from it. Now, mind you, I'm never going to train at a gym again, and we're going to get into that, right? But take your journey as long as you can. Like, if you're a martial artist too, like, dog, love and respect right now, okay? Y'all are amazing. Straight up, because, like, it's a terrifying experience to start. It's a really terrifying experience to continue. And it is unfortunately infested with a lot of toxicity, not masculine toxicity, y'all. Okay, everybody that's in there gets a little, not everybody, again, we're working on that word. A lot of people that are in there get a little confused because they're coming in thinking every day that I leave, I'm getting power. No. You're not. You're probably not even getting power full unless you're approaching your training, yeah, with dedication and consistency, not Monday, Wednesday. You're getting growth. Growth is growth, right? For sure. But, like, watching a billion people a day trying to learn all of their techniques has no translative mechanism. Meaning, martial arts is really about the development of chains, if you will, muscular chains. Okay? That your body can do. Alright? I got to a point, because, like, again, practiced every day. I was first in, last out after my first year. Does that make sense? So, like, first year, came in, you know, still with, like, a, hey, I need this for, like, the protection, whatever, but then, like, after that first year, my journey really kicked off, okay? And it became, like, oh, man, I don't know, guys, like a daily investment, okay, like a spiritual investment for a little minute, all right? And so because it was like that, like, I was literally Monday to Friday, okay? I trained through broken bones. I fought with broken bones. One of my fights, I had, here, look, check. I don't know if you guys can see this, but, like, this is ridiculous. Like, these are fractured beyond repair. This knuckle has no reason to be that big. Okay. Doing all of that was not about developing this, like, power over people, okay? It was about developing authority within myself. What do I mean by that? where I walk now, not just because of Muay Thai, right? It was a combination of like intellectual pursuits and also like the spiritual journey that is martial arts. Yes, yes, yes. But now when I walk somewhere, I go in peace, right? Peace with promise, meaning I'm chilling. Y'all, to people who like really want to press my goat or whatever, like the amount of stuff that you're gonna have to do to put me into a situation where I actually throw hands at this point in my life is astronomical. You're not gonna be able to, unless you are a direct threat to me, which, like, spoiler alert, you're not, right? It's not gonna happen. Threats are words, and usually they come from the weakest of people, right? Someone walking up on you with a gun is incredibly weak and insecure, so not a threat. I promise you, a real threat, and you'll hear this a lot, and you'll hear it from some of the best people on this earth, but a real threat is a person who sits calmly under a tree, sleeping, in the middle of, I don't know, public square or something, okay? A real threat is the person who seeks peace first and last. A real threat doesn't start, it simply finishes, and then it continues being peaceful. Okay? Strive for that, because that's authority, and if you want to, in that moment, right, they are powerful, okay? Or they have power. They have authority. Right? Authority is the ability to express your will absent of anything other than your will. I need you guys to get that. I need you all to please accept this gift that I am giving to you. Alright? That gift is authority. Right? And I've had this conversation before, right? I've been in situations around people who are like uber wealthy, uber poor, it doesn't matter. I am me. I'm me. Right? I am in all of those because I choose to be. Right? And so no one has power over me. People try. They think like, oh, well, let's go to this place and like I'll pay for it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Well, I bought so-and-so last time, so like, are you going to do this thing for me? No, you made a choice, and I appreciate that choice. Deuces. Right? You can't buy me, because I don't see that action, I don't see money as anything other than a means to an end. Yeah? It's not power. It's stuff. Everyone has stuff. Right? But what's in your mind? Right? Authority carries in darkness, authority carries in light. Authority carries in caves with monsters. Authority carries in villages with the kindest of people. Authority is the internal understanding of the value. It's the self-worth. Okay? You need authority. Alright? And that comes from knowing who you are and fully embracing that. So one more Muay Thai related example. After like the 7th year or so of training and like, fighting whatever, and probably before, if I'm being honest, but like definitely at that point, people were, passively recording me or like constantly watching me, even while I'm just like training and whatever, especially while I'm training or like sparring, right? And they think I didn't notice, I did. And then slowly they would like try to copy, like my habits, my this, my that, my blah, blah, blah. And I'd let it happen because it's funny to watch. And then they'd try to use some of these things and it would fail so terribly that they're like, well, but why does it work for him? Why doesn't it work the same for me? Why can't I draw from that wealth of his power? And it's like, guys, because that's not power. I'm living in my authority. I have command of myself. I have full command of myself. And I'm allowed to express that through this body in the ways that I do, because I have workshopped my strengths and weaknesses. I am expressing my authenticity, right, in this way. Okay? What you're trying to copy, what you're trying to mimic, it'll never work, because you aren't me, period. You don't have my bone density, you don't have my muscle mass, you don't have my body shape, you don't have my height, you don't have my feet placement, you don't have my balance that didn't come from fighting. It came from years and 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 years of dancing. Right? You have none of my gifts, so you can't copy my techniques. You can watch them, you can try, but put into practice, it won't work, man. This was a Dragon Ball Z reference, guys. Literally, when we were still kids, like some of the people who, sorry to get like amped like that, but boom, it just hit me. Like literally, Dragon Ball Z already did it. Frickin' Captain Ginyu. Sorry, like, yo, by the way, I'm actually a nerd. I know how I dress, and sound, and like whatever, but like anime kid. Cool. I mean, I don't, but anyway, not the point. Captain Ginyu. Shit, do I need to explain for you guys? Figure it out. Google. Captain Ginyu. Sorry. It's like this bad guy, right? And for one of his things, he full on takes Goku's body. He's like, you're right, I can't be you unless I can be you. So then he takes his body, but it's him inside someone else's body. He hasn't had Goku's journey, right, to develop his techniques. He doesn't have Goku's actual brain, right, to use his techniques in the way that he uses them, right, with that state of flow, with that state of creative expression, right? So he can't do anything. He takes it, and he is worse off in a more powerful body than he was in his less powerful body. Like, how freaking hilarious is that for reference? God, I love you. Okay. You know the little green ball I had? I dropped it. I'm dropping my balls, so... God, I love this. Hey, y'all. That's it, okay? Like, that's a real awesome point to leave on. Even if you get all the way to taking someone else's form, you will never be them. Okay? That envy will never work out for you. But what will is developing you to the best that you can be. Right? Now that does mean like, hey, I see something of value in this person's character, and I want to emulate that. Right? Emulate there is a different kind of word. That means see something, respect where you're getting it from, take it in, and make it authentic. Okay? I saw somebody when I was like little, riding no-handed, like on a bicycle or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I want to be able to do that one day. So then I practiced forever, and I developed it with my body and my sense of balance, and now I can ride my bike with no handlebars. Call out to you guys. I don't know if I'm allowed to like say artists are awesome, but like Flowbots. Like definitely for that CD, I don't really. But anyway, where I was. Okay. That's it, y'all. Okay. Develop you. Stop looking at everybody else to tell you who you are. You know who you are, and if you don't, go on that journey with yourself. There's people who can guide you to do that. I'm not the one right now. Alright, reach out, because like the need there is too individualistic, right? And I deal with people like more, I mean, one-on-one, sure, but this is a group thought thing, okay? Anyway, I love you guys. I love you. Okay? Get rid of the word power, replace it with authority, okay? Let's guide the world to this moral good place that I am taking us to, whether you like it or not, because that's my purpose. Alright? I'm going to be the bridge from crap to true beauty. Okay? I'm going to do that, whether you want me to or not. I'm here to do that. If it doesn't happen in this generation, I promise y'all, I will find a way to persist. Okay? I love you. Be safe. Seek authority. Spoiler alert, it comes from God, so talk to him too.